This is Karangahape Road, central Auckland. Most people call it K Road. It's dirty, it's seedy, it's subversive. It's also edgy, diverse and colourful. My name is Six. For many years, K Road was my home. I was homeless. Now I edit the K Road Chronicle, a newspaper that gives K Road street people their own voice. For months I've been trying to do a story about women and homelessness. It's turned out to be much harder than I imagined. Most of the women I asked were too scared to share their stories publicly. To try and understand the reasons for this, I interviewed Charlotte, who manages an emergency housing shelter. Yeah, so we've been trying really hard to get the female voice of homelessness on film. Once they've been thinking about it for a couple of days, like, oh no, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Why do you think there's a reluctance to stand up and say, this is my story?
I reckon it's fear. A lot of women fear for their lives. Homeless women are more vulnerable than men because, because they're women, and men tend to gravitate around women that are vulnerable.
Most vulnerable of all are homeless women who are also sex workers.
People tend to say, why is she homeless when she's a sex worker? Sex workers have social issues like everyone else. And there could be stuff like trauma at home, family breakdown, relationship breakups, mental health. But it just seems like every time a sex worker comes to the agencies and say that they're homeless, straight away they've been stigmatised.
Eventually I found someone brave enough to speak openly about these issues. Gloria is homeless and a sex worker. She lives in a park.
Why I got involved in the sex industry was I came from an abusive relationship.
Physically abusive?
Yeah, physically abusive, yeah. And I just thought, well, I'm sick of men abusing me and taking me for granted and just being horrible. So I thought I'd just use men for a commodity type thing, yeah.
Are you okay with that? I mean, it's legitimate work, but I imagine you have to be mentally resilient.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that it wasn't affecting me, but in the last 2 years, I realise it has affected me, yeah. It is hard, yeah, it does affect you, yeah. And I've told other young girls that have asked me about it, I've said to them, no, it's something you don't want to get into. You think it doesn't affect you, but it does, yeah.
So you're rough sleeping now?
Yeah, I'm rough sleeping, yeah. I've been out here since August. I got out of jail. Was in there for like 7.5 months, got out and tried to get a place while I was in there, tried to get one organised, but that never happened.
With nowhere to live, it's difficult to get a job, even if that job is selling sex. Why do the workers wind up working the street? Wouldn't it be safer and cleaner and to work from an establishment?
Some of the sex workers that work on the street have got criminal records, tattoos, and some of the brothel owners won't accept people with tattoos or criminal history.
Having recently come out of jail, Gloria can't get a job or a place to stay. She's got little option but to work alone on the streets.
The obstacle is criminal record. I've been offered homes to stay in, and when I've gone there, I've been propositioned like, if you want to stay, you're going to have to sleep in my bed. And I don't think men get that when they're asked, do you need somewhere to stay tonight?
On the street, if a woman is a sex worker, the men on the street think they should get free sex and they look after them. And it's not like that. It's a job for them.
What's the scariest thing about being a woman on the street?
Getting mugged or getting attacked. I often have a little something in my bag I put myself in areas where there's CC cameras and where it's bright.
Despite precautions like these, the threat of violence remains ever present.
Why do you continue being a sex worker when you've been attacked? You know, people got to eat. They've got to, catch a bus to get to the next place. They've got to, look after themselves financially.
What's the worst thing about being a female, rough sleeping?
Oh my God, not being able to have a shower straight away and doing my hair and just having to pull those clothes out of the bag all the time and, yeah.
What do you do when you wake up in the middle of the night, you're on the street and you need to pee?
I just find a little area that I can go to because I've always got tissues or wipes on me.
Living like this on the streets is hard. To help make it more bearable, many people turn to alcohol and drugs. How much sleep are you getting?
I try not to sleep. I try and sleep during the day and stay awake at night. Yeah.
What's your drug consumption like?
I do a bit of pee just to stay awake most of the time. I'm on the methadone program, but yeah. And I drink a bit of alcohol just to cope out here.
But not all homeless women are on drugs. You know, when women are on the street and they're sex working, people always think they're there they're getting money to buy drugs, alcohol. You know, some women out there are just trying to get money to get by, to eat, pay for a motel for the night, sleep on the streets for 2 nights, get enough money to sleep in a motel for 3 nights. So, you know, it's about survival.
Gloria wants more than just to survive. She wants to get off the street for good, find secure housing and a regular job. If you could talk to that 14-year-old you,
oh wow,
what would you like to say to her?
Shit. Go for that air hostessing job you were going to get. Don't take drugs. Yeah, don't let the drugs rule you. You rule them. And yeah, just keep in touch with your family more. Yeah.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.